The Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa are about to agree to a massive extension that is going to break the internet. Now, the reason I'm so confident that an extension is about to drop is because of the comments made by both McDaniel and Greer, as well as reports that have come out in the past few weeks that an extension is going to get done. But check out these clips from both Greer and McDaniel.
Yeah, we've been in communication since the offseason began. I'm going to talk to his agent here this week. So our goal is to try and see if we can get something done. Ryan's been great, Tua's been great, so we'll see. But there's no timeline on it. At the end of the day, you know how these deals get done. They're complicated deals, and building the team through free agency as well. So we'll work through it and see if we can get something done.
Do you believe that you guys can deal with something?
I think we're hopeful. Again, when you go through these things, you guys have all been around and seen other teams that go through that. These are deals that very rarely come together quickly. There's a lot of pieces, moving parts when you're doing it. So, we've had positive discussions so far, and we'll keep working here throughout the offseason.
And how we move forward. I'm very encouraged. They're both Tua's representation and our organization is hard at work. Those timelines are impossible to predict, and I'm not. My main concern this offseason has been communicating what Tua needs from his head coach and his offensive coaching staff, which is what things can we identify to continue the progression of your game the same way that we have since day one. My belief has always been strong from day one in Tua. It's stronger than it was the first day I met him, and that's because of that relationship where I'm focused, which is continuing to provide the coaching so he can continue to evolve his game as he has since the second that I started talking to him.
So those clips are the reason why I'm confident a deal is going to get done. Now, the reason I'm confident that it's going to break the internet is, first and foremost, it's a quarterback contract. And every time a quarterback gets paid, unless they're beloved in the eyes of most NFL fans, which a couple quarterbacks are, but most aren't, when a quarterback gets paid, it gets criticized. And especially a controversial player like Tua Tagovailoa, which him being controversial doesn't make sense, as he's a quiet guy who keeps to himself and just puts in the work. But he's become a big meme in terms of NFL fans, and the combination of quarterback money and Tua getting paid is just going to combine to absolute chaos on the internet, especially Dolphins Twitter.
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
So SpotTrack projected Tua's potential contract, and it came out to be a 4-year, $220 million deal. Like I said, is going to break the internet, which on average is $55 million a year. And he projects $105 million guaranteed at signing and practically $165 million guaranteed. So in essence, if $165 of $220 is guaranteed, it's basically 3 full years guaranteed. So the Dolphins would not be able to get out of the deal until after the third season. The reason I believe the Dolphins should extend quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is because they are currently in their win now window. This is the best the Dolphins have been in my lifetime. So why squander your opportunity to potentially win a Super Bowl? Because at the end of the day, there's only one team that wins it. So you have to find your window, go all in, and if you win it, amazing. And if you don't, you got to reassess, rebuild, and go back at it. And the Dolphins can't afford to have a bad quarterback while going to try and pursue a Super Bowl run. And if you look at the market, there's no one on the market that is better than Tua. There's no one in the draft that they're going to get day one and be better than Tua. So why waste assets trying to find a replacement when you're not going to find someone who is better? So you extend him, you lower his cap hit for the next year, and yes, you're eventually going to run out of talent. But at the end of the day, that window is going to close in 1 to 2 years, regardless if you pay Tua or not, because of the status of the players in their contracts. So you have to go and have a quarterback for this run. Whether Tua's the guy or not, you'll find out when you're paying him, and then when his contract is available to get out, you can determine if he's continuing to be your franchise quarterback, or when you need a reset, which the reset needs to happen regardless, you can assess if you want Tua to be that guy that you continue to build with or not. But during this current window, which is their best chance to win a Super Bowl in my lifetime, you need to have a quarterback that can play at a high level, which Tua has proven he can be. So that is why Tua should get extended, and that's why he's going to get extended, because Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel know that. He's their best chance to win a Super Bowl in this current window that they have. When that window closes, which isn't dependent on Tua getting paid or not, it is dependent on Tyreek Hill's contract running out, Jalen Ramsey, Bradley Chubb, all of that. That's what it's dependent on, and the cap hits of all of those guys, Tua included. But once that window closes, you can fully assess whether or not you want to build in that next window with Tua or not, because by the time that window closes, his contract's going to be ready to be run out. So that is why I think the Dolphins should extend Tua Tagovailoa. Comment your thoughts down below whether or not you think they should or shouldn't. Like I mentioned, I think the reason that this contract is going to break the internet is because how controversial Tua has become, despite the fact that he continues to disprove narratives, the fact that he can't throw deep, or that he can't stay healthy, or this or that. Tua has continued to shut those narratives up, or he can't beat good teams, but then he beats good teams / good defenses, and then that doesn't count because the Dolphins get blown out by the Bills or they get blown out by the Ravens. I feel like if you watch football, you should know there is not a more team sport than football. One player isn't going to make the difference in a 55-20 game. Now, obviously, there's been moments where Tua hasn't made the best plays, and guess what? Every quarterback does that. So I feel like Tua has been unfairly criticized. Some criticism is deserved of every player, and Tua is not to be excused of that. But I think Tua has played at a very high level, and that is why he's earned himself an extension, and that's a reason why Mike McDaniel believes in him as his quarterback. That's the thing, especially Mike McDaniel has conviction on the player. There's no reason for him to tie his job to someone unless he believes in him. And if someone who is an offensive guru believes in him, I don't see why anyone else shouldn't. And like I said, the Dolphins are going to extend him, and it's going to break the internet because of the price tag and this quarterback money, and Tua is very controversial. But nonetheless, it's going to happen whether it's a week from now, a month from now, or right before training camp. I'm very confident that the Dolphins are going to extend QB Tua Tagovailoa. Comment your thoughts down below. I appreciate you guys for watching. Like and subscribe to help the channel grow. And until next time, fins up.